The green line is the pre-start entry. The red line to the left is the official start. We are about 2 minutes away. Here comes the entry.
Yeah, a little late for the entry. That's not going to pose too much of a problem for them because there's no other boat. So what they'll do here is they'll just...
America's Cup Park in Alcatraz. 39 seconds and counting for the start of race number 6 with Luna Rossa.
So on the race course are the umpire boats, a couple of TV boats, and the safety and support craft for each one of the VC-72s. That is Max Rainer, the pins at Max.
I believe it is. He's preparing. He's better get that line untangled before they actually get into the race. That helps with the board up and down. So 10 seconds and counting for Luna Rossa. You can see the boat speed pick up, and the big question is whether there's enough wind and therefore enough boat speed for the boat to lift up on its foils. We shall see. This reach is one of the fastest points of sail, and that's why we start this America's Cup with a reach. So 22 knots of boat speed. We're officially underway in race number 6, but Andy, no foiling yet.
No foiling yet, not quite windy enough. But they've put a pretty good angle there though. Probably only doing 16 knots of boat speed. So some of the aerofoil improvements will when we get a close-up of the boat. And a shot from the helicopter as they go towards mark number 1.
Great viewing there off of the Yacht Club Peninsula there. Chrissy Field to the right. And that's also no accident. They set the first mark right off the shoreline so people can see these boats reaching at them. At full speed. Full speed today is 20 knots in this light air, only 8.6 knots of breeze, a little left of its normal wind direction here in San Francisco. So a little bit of a slower race, but the race committee can take that into account and they can actually shorten the course a little bit or lengthen it depending on whether there's more wind or less wind, so that the race takes about the same amount of time.
Some of the aerofoils on the package there, what we can see is actually these boards that they've put down at the front of the boat that help channel the air underneath the hull and give them extra lift. Here we go from better away. In future races, if there's more breeze, this is one of the trickiest, most difficult times to manage the boat around the race course. Just up on the foils there, just a little nudge up and a great view there of the curved board.
Yeah, I noticed that too, Andy. I think that's one of the changes we saw from the windier races earlier. That extra curvature in the board gives them more vertical lift in the foiling, and it is working. So Luna Rossa is foiling just in this light air on downwind run number 1.
I think the more curve you have on the board, the easier it is to foil, and the more leeway you have. So actually, Emirates Team New Zealand have got boards that are less curved, that have a more acute angle between the board bit that goes down and the sort of wing bit that comes off the side. So the tighter you can get it, the better that is for foiling, because the least leeway you have, but it's harder to get the boat up onto the foils with a more sort of 90, the closer the angle gets to 90 degrees for your board and then foil at the bottom, the harder it is to foil, but the less leeway you get. And I actually think they've got much less curved foils on today than they had on a few days ago. Coming downwind, all the crew on the high side. Want to keep the weight when
you're transmitted to the sensors that they've got on their watch and on their wrist there. Francesco Brini most likely has a bigger tablet to look at the entire race course, and the software package tells them what angle they should be sailing at, and they often even when they should.
Nice little puff, and that might get them just on their balls just a little bit.
Yeah, there we go, just a little bit of foiling there, puff of breeze. Halfway down this run as we head into the leeward gates. We do have foiling conditions finally in this race for Luna Rossa. The tactician there, Francesco Brini, will be looking for the best wind strength on the course, Andy, so that they can keep this foiling going, right?
Yeah, they have to develop their package with their aero, their hydro, all of the elements that they're trying to improve as they get towards the Vuitton semi-final. finals and finals. They're trying to basically catch up with TV.
As it goes through the water, the more lift it's going to create. And the more vertical that surface is, the more it's going to reduce your leeway. The side force that the wind creates on the rig, it pushes the boat sideways. So upwind, you want more of a vertical board, and of course downwind, to create that lift for foiling, you want more of a horizontal surface, right?
Yeah, that's, in layman's terms, yeah, that's...
So it's the balance between the two, finding that perfect formula.
Yes, exactly.
And of course, if you're not foiling, then that extra surface area is just creating drag through the water, right?
Yeah, to a point. I mean, they're still, although they're not foiling, they'll still be using some lifting surface to reduce the absolute width. Systems has been a large focus.
Port starboard here between the Rossa and
Container ship.
a very large container ship. Panamax coming into San Francisco.
It looks close in the picture, but the Coast Guard has set up a zone where this race course takes place. The boats can't go outside of their boundary, and the commercial traffic knows where they're going to go as well. It's all very well choreographed. Let's get another example. There's a ferry boat heading to Alcatraz.
Very busy there, but that powerboat, that ferry boat looks like it's powered by some very environmentally friendly thrusters there on the top of the boat. We are looking at Rossa just tacking away from the boundary line towards Mars, towards the city.
Still pretty physical on these boats, even in the light air.
Yeah, really physical. They just, it's at times in the light air when the boats are down speed, they're even more physical than the breeze. There's big movements going on of wind control systems trying to camper the wing up, and the loads on those surfaces are further down. So a lot of resource going for that.
You've sailed these boats since the start. You've sailed America's Cup boats for the last 15 years or more. Just talk us through the realisation of how different this America's Cup was going to be. When did you realise that this was a completely different game in terms of how the boats actually sail?
Well, the obvious one when the design came out in 2000, and we were asking our grinders, for example, that historically it stood on one set of handles and stayed here for the entire race. Now they're running across a 40-metre wide platform that's bouncing around it. The training techniques change in the gym and the hot physical build up to it.
So you had to rewrite the grinder contracts completely. They've actually got to move as well as grind. I mean, that's double pay.
That's a lot easier than what it sounds a lot easier than what it was.
Right. How difficult was it within Emirates Team New Zealand to cull so much of the sailing team? I know how tight you guys are. That must have been
really difficult, and right through from the management. So it's been a team that's prided itself on its culture for a long time, and I guess if there was any consolation, as you're saying, with large friends and colleagues that have been there for a long time, was that it was that it wasn't out there.
right.
And it wasn't
Sometimes though, it's changing. The America's Cup changes in every iteration.
Yes, exactly, and then we're seeing a different event out here with boats that are doing pretty amazing things on the water.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here we've got Rossa now going upwind for the final time. Then it's a dash down towards the finish. A little less dashing today though, because we've got 6 to 8 knots. The boat, however, still looks dashing.
Dashing and silver.
There you go.
Well, a lot of people know that these catamarans, and we've been talking about them, these AC-72s, have never been used in the Cup before. A lot of new development. And it's because...
Fantastic, and in the past that was only a privileged few that were out there watching it, and the initiative to get it in here, I think it's been a great one. It's made for tough sailing. It's shifty, and you've seen that out there now.
Well, you did a great job of that for us a couple of days ago, but I mean, the America's Cup is unique in that it actually generally starts quite slowly, and you've been in Valencia and Auckland, and when we were in both of those venues for the first, 4 to 6 weeks, it just slowly builds momentum, and when we were in Valencia the first couple of weeks, it was very light.
Yeah, well, exactly. The first thing we're on the water, we don't have as many boats as we'd like, but we're still learning and enjoying the crowd while we're out there.
Luna Rossa's out there learning as they head downwind for the last time. We saw almost a foil there. She goes into a jibe on to starboard and heads to the final turning mark. So not foiling conditions, but still learning conditions here. As Luna Rossa heads downwind. We're joined by Richard Meacham from Emirates Team New Zealand, analysing their performance.
Holes in them that have been covered with, I presume that's
Yeah, so that looks cool.
these are the foils that we're talking about, and the extra addition. The top bit is what was there originally, those 9 holes, and then if you move just down a little bit, you can see the extra holes that have been added. Is that what that's what you're talking about? There you go. Perfect picture like that. Talk to it.
No, that's basically exactly what you're suggesting, and that's been the aero packages of these boats have been a massive learning curve for all of us. You know, we're going, we're talking about the version 5 boats.
Now, how exactly does that fairing help?
Well, it's obviously the big frontal area, if you like, on those 4 beams, and it reduces the drag on those, much like a wing on an aeroplane.
Or a spoiler on the back of your car. Does it actually generate any up force or down force, or do you try and make it as neutral as possible to guide the air?
Yeah, it's generally pretty neutral. Yeah, and I mean, there's times with air angles and things like that that'll have different effects.
And these rods that we can see under to the keel post or the dolphin structure, are they round or are they actually shaped, foil shaped?
Yeah, they're foil shaped as best we can. I mean, they're there as a structural, very part of the structure, but we try and minimise the drag by putting the whole from the Aircraft Salt House in here the other day who's developing our aero package along with the technical guys. Nick Hutchins, Steve Colley in the design office. So there's just a constant development that goes on, and some of the methods of how we'll do it is generally pretty rough. You can make something out overnight and put it on the next day and see how it behaves.
Yeah. Have you taken models of the boats into a wind tunnel?